the boot camp, the job preparation boot camp that we're going to be hosting and holding. So Brother Shams is going to give you guys a detailed kind of the brief information. And as we go along, then when we start doing our boot camp session, we'll be giving you the detailed information accordingly. So Brother Shamsu, please go ahead and give them the structure that that we're planning and proposing to do. Please.
Sure. Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. All right. Moment.
ব্রাদার শামসু আপনি স্ক্রিনটা শেয়ার করলে মনে হয় আমরা মনে আরো ভালোভাবে ডিটেইলস দেখতে পারতাম।
There is not much to share on the screen actually, but I mean, Brother Shamsu can go ahead, just tell over what we are proposing to.
Okay, so basically, the boot camp is all about like preparing you all to be able to search for the job and be able to successfully get an offer letter and be able to perform what has been assigned to as a job candidate. So our plan is to go, those who are actually interested would like to get a agreement signed by you before we start, which will happen by 23rd, June 23rd. And then once we get that, we'll collect all your resume, whatever resume you have created as of now. We'll be collecting those resume, and based on that, we'll be working on providing all the input based on Java as the criteria. And then once we completed our resume for each individual candidate, then we'll explain you what this resume is all about, what you have learned so far, and it will be on the resume, and you will be asked to do a group mock interview session. Read through your resume, be able to understand what's said on the resume, and you should be able to answer any question ask based on what's on the resume. And then we will start doing a one-on-one mock interview sessions where you will be taken with a group of recruiting a member from cyberbullion. Most likely some of us will be here for the mock interview. And once you actually satisfy the mock interview, then you will be placed for the live project. The live project will be held, will not happen until you have a basic of like whatever the class already covered, what's been covered in Java as that classroom or any other class materials covered throughout the course. Once that is completed, then you will be placed in the live project. So we need to make sure you are comfortable enough to do the live session, because live session will be just like you are working in a job environment. So our live session will be like a job. Let's say you are actually getting a phone call from the cyberbullying recruiting this is like a sample call to make sure you are able to talk to people recruiting and be able to understand what recruiter actually asking. So we'll be doing a random call to all of you as if you are actually in the market, and then we'll select you for the job, the live project. Live project will conducted by a group of people where you will have the team of people who will be developing a application, assuming a cyberbullying.com application, for example. And then you have a developer, you have a scrum master, you have a project manager, you have a team of automation. Basically, like you all, whoever joined the session today, are all would be automation engineer acting as the developing a software, just like you're supposed to do in a work environment. And then you will be given a scrum meeting in the beginning of the session, and then you are assigned to some particular job task you will be doing for the entire day or a week. You know, once that is complete, you do your assignment, you will be actually communicating with your project manager, Scrum Master, and the whole team, basically email communication. So you will be learning how to communicate if there is a communication issue, some of you. So you will be able to resolve that, and we will give a feedback to each and individual of you how you are doing in the live project. So all this, work will be done throughout the session. There will be a project where you will be trying to do a site, and we'll have a intentional bug in the site. So we'll ask you to be able to produce that bug, be able to when you run your script, you should be able to capture there is a bug and report it, and how you report it, and where to report it, and who should be fixing that bug, and refer to you, and then you should be rerunning it. So this whole process will be in the live project, and this is just like you are doing. So you won't be held accountable for anything when you go to the job market and face an interview. Okay, well, I have done this. This is, you can make a story and scenario of what you have done. So and be able to answer all of your questions beside the Java itself or Selenium in general question when management asks you. Because the reason why we are going through all this, because when you are in the market, most likely you will be getting a, half of the question is like a general question, like how do you actually be able to, how do you overcome this situation when you have a problem in the team, or you are due for a 2 days delivery of a project. How do you handle that? What would be your best approach? Those kind of things will be covered in the entire session. And the mock interview, and once you actually complete the whole entire project, you will be assigned for another mock interview to give us entire, like, whatever you learned. So that's going to be second set of mock interview, where you will be taking a real-time interview. Maybe we'll be conducting a video conference with the team, or a phone interview, or a face-to-face, whichever convenient way we can do. But we will try to do it video conference and the face-to-face. That would be the last mock interview. So once we think you are ready to go to the market, then you will be set to another category, where we'll be calling it a job marketing, where we'll be helping you to get Dice, Monster, all the job portal media to upload your resume, and be able to how you should upload it, and when to you renew it. Because every day, if you update your resume yesterday, it may not be available to the whoever looking for the resume tomorrow or next day. So we'll show you the technique how you can actually make that happen, so the recruiter can see your resume every time they look for it. And and also will be we'll show you how to do that if any of you not familiar with that. The duration for the entire session is 7 weeks for the boot camp. So we'll be starting from the June 23rd to 7 weeks from then, and the live project will be around 30 to 40 hours. We will be taking a note from each of you, whichever convenient way. Are we doing a 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekend, or are we doing a breakdown like 4 hours in the weekdays? So that can be decided among us when we meet for the first session after the agreement part and all this is done. Apart from that, I don't have anything in my mind or in my notes.
Brother Shamsu, Brother Shamsu, I think you need to cover up that the mentoring, which
okay,
is
yeah,
very
thank you
important.
for reminding me. Yeah,
Sure.
that is the most important part. I actually forgot. And yeah, so the mentoring part is the one each of you will be conducting 10 hours mentoring session within the 7 weeks period. So everyone will be responsible for 10 hours, no matter what before you go to the live project. That is one requirement, because the reason why you will be doing a mentoring session is when you do that, you are talking to other students, whoever joining the session, and explaining that. So that will help you for the interview process, how you explaining things. And once you do one or two sessions, it's going to be just like a easy, and you will feel much more comfortable when you go for live interview with the any recruiter. There will be like all the nervousness and all the problem that we encounter usually will not be there, and you will see the difference once you do that. So this is something
Brother
required
Samsu,
10 hours.
if you can briefly explain what mentoring is, that will be helpful for students.
Okay, the
What is
mentoring is
mentoring?
basically you will be assigned a topic. Let's say you are responsible for to do a presentation on one application, let's say Facebook application, and you are tasked to do like 2 or 3 test cases to do the automation for Facebook. So you are presenting to other students, explaining in details what you understand, and telling other students as if you are technically tutoring other student that piece of information. Or another part would be like brother Abdul Sazad did the Unix and Linux. That is also considered as a mentoring, because you are actually explaining your knowledge to other person. By doing so, you will be actually getting more question by yourself, like you're thinking, okay, I did cover, what if I did do cover in the next session something new. The innovative stuff will come to your brain automatically when you do so. So the mentoring part, nothing but just a topic what you have learned from the beginning to end. You select a topic, or we will be assigning a topic where you will be spending 2 hours each session, and we can open that session anytime during the week or weekend. We have a set of a schedule which we'll be actually sharing. I was unable to log into my machine, so that's why I could not show you that. MD Alam, do you have that on your machine that you can share the schedule, or the schedule is not ready yet?
Yeah,
The,
we are working on it, right? So it's not completely ready. So it's better if we can share it after once we're done.
oh, okay, so basically the schedule is basically from Monday to Friday and the weekend. There is a set of a schedule. You will be picking, okay, I'll be doing my 5 sessions of mentoring, 2 hours each on those days, and we'll reserve that time for you to present. So there is nothing to be worried about anything. It's just like, you when you do the mentoring, you're just explaining whatever you're doing in the classroom. And by the way, that has to done, English, because the reason why I'm mentioning is uh, we would like, when you face interview, there is no way you can actually tell interviewer a foreign language. So it's better, we explain it in a practice it, because at the end of the bootcamp session, you will realize how much you learned and how much you are ready for the market. And probably by the end of the year, you are making 120,000 or plus, each of you. And we are inshallah expecting that to happen. And also the if you think this is something difficult, don't worry about this, because once you think of this way, the first day you started, those of you not about Java or Selenium at all, and compare that from the first day to today, what do you know? What is the difference? So if you know there is the difference between the day one and today, then you will definitely calculate that, okay, if we start bootcamp today, and by the end of the session, 7 weeks, what would be that? So you can kind of guess from there. Is there anything I did not cover, Brother Moshe or Alam?
No, that should be all, and inshallah we'll give them the details on 23rd for all the schedules and how it's going to work and stuff.
Any question from any of you? Feel free to let me know, or
Sure.
share
Uh,
me.
yeah, could you please give us little bit idea about your course curriculum for boot camp? So how, if you have any idea, just give us.
So as I explained, the bootcamp is basically a live project. Uh, you will be doing. But prior to going to the live project, you will be assigned to give us your resume. The first thing is, you will be signing an agreement. You are joining the boot camp session, and there is once you get the job, you will be responsible for paying cyberbullion $4,000 in an installment. So that is the agreement you will be signing, and you are, the agreement will tell you what it is. So you will be receiving by 23rd, along with the schedule and everything. So once that part is done, we'll be collecting the resume. We'll work on the resume. We'll provide the resume, give you some time to study on that, and be able to prepare yourself based on the resume. Do a sample of mock interview, just initial mock interview, so we know that you are ready for the boot camp, because the live project, because the live project has to be as a professional way. It's not like we're talking. It's just you have to treat it as you are working in an environment. So you are an employee of a cyberbullion. So something you have to treat yourself is a professional manner. The way you will be communicating with your project manager, supervisor, or PM or Scrum Master, or any group in the team. So that is a professional way of. So we need to make sure you are ready for that. And I'm sure by now you all are ready. And once you do the mentoring session before the first 3 weeks or 4 weeks, you should be able to completely ready for the live session. Live session will conducted in the last 3 weeks or so. So before that, the first 4 weeks, we'll be doing all this. Make sure you're ready for that project. And then in the live project, you will be doing basically, you are responsible for an assignment. So you join a company. When you join a company, what do? You basically go there and meet your manager or whoever assigned to, and he's gonna give you access to your computer or provide you a laptop and explain you what the project you'll be working on or application, and then give you some documents to study first day or so. This is typically happen in general work environment, and then you actually gather meeting, decide what tools to use, which automation tools to go for, and so on and so forth. In real time, it takes time to get someone to set into it. So we want to teach you, what will be happen once you get in there from the first day to the completion of the any assignment you given. So we want to make sure you will be able to conduct that task when you are at work environment. So that is the live session. Before live session, we'll be make sure your resume is ready. You are ready for the sample mock interview and completed the 10 weeks of 10 hours of mentoring sessions. And that is basically the whole idea of the job preparation camp. Did that answer your question, sir?
Yeah, I got it. So, but one thing I need to make sure, so before going to boot camp, so we can have 1 or 2 free sessions for seeing how it works.
Okay, I did already explain it to you how it actually works. So for those of you already just enrolled in the enhancement course, this is just a Java. You learning, Java, basic of Java, and then Selenium, how to automate that piece of any application if you are given. So that is covered up until today, right? And the next part is people who need help with getting a job. So that is the main idea of getting the job preparation boot camp. So we will be helping only people who are who need to get into the market, be able to find a job and be able to do the job. Not only just find a job, they should be able to do their work at the work environment. It is just nothing complicated, as like you are practicing today or last few weeks. Any application you selected, you started automation. This is basically the work you will be doing if you are assigned to a job. But this is just a 10% of your entire day or so. But there are a lot of other things that you need to understand that only can be covered in the bootcamp, because the bootcamp is designed in a way that we cannot give you a demo of how that is. It is not possible to give you 1 hour, 2 hour demo, but to explain whatever I explain it to you just now, give you information. If that's something that doesn't cover, I mean, I can explain it over and give you some other example. But the boot camper is just a work environment you will be doing. So this I don't know, is there a way to put a sample of it or give it 1 week session out of it?
Yeah, I have a question about that. Whenever you guys are preparing for our resume, I think based on the market, a lot of recruiters they're asking for that web services, just like a SOAP or REST and a SQL also. But we don't have any idea for this.
Okay, so anything is in the resume. As I mentioned on the resume, if we list the SOAP UI or web service or SQL, anything, you'll
Yeah.
be get into it, because every time we do it there in the throughout 7 sessions, we'll make sure you are familiar with all this technology, the tools, and the languages. There will be like minor simple language you might have to learn. This is just like 1 or 2 hour session. For example, if as you mentioned web service, if we do a web service, we'll be introducing some primary or Groovy scripting, Groovy language, right? So Groovy is just like similar to Java. So there will be like same different way, different syntax, but the idea is same. So you will know how to handle it, because you're not gonna need to learn the entire end-to-end Groovy to do the web service. It's just the XML format of working on it, communicating with one service to another, and there is a tools for it. So these are 1 or 2 sessions we will happen throughout the entire bootcamp session. Whoever needs that. So let's say in your resume you listed SOAP UI, but another person listed web service on different tools. Let's say they mentioned FEM or some other tools. Let's say UFT API or the what is it? There is another tools they use, REST API. Yeah. So these are the things. If you are not familiar, we'll go over on the throughout the session. So this is the whole idea of this is like outside of the course
if
you are
go to
doing. Because
on the web services, just like you just mentioned, REST or SOAP UI, you can't manage it within 1 or 2 sessions, because of it will take a little bit time to understand for us. A lot of guys they don't understand. There is a me too, but I'm also want to learn how to access that and how to work on it. So I think within
yeah.
1 or 2 sessions, it can't. We can't.
So for anybody to understand what is SOAP UI best protocol, just the basic, because for the job purpose,
Basic.
You just
We need to work on live environment, right? Just like Amazon Web Service and others, a lot of recruiter they want to look like what you are working on the web services before or right now, then your priority is going to be a little bit more higher, right? If you
okay.
resume.
Brother, let me inject or interrupt here. Uh, the purpose of the RESTful API and web services, recruiter ask if you have a knowledge of it, but you're not automating the RESTful API or anything with Selenium, because you're going with the Selenium. You have to understand that. As long as you have a knowledge of it, then you can say it how you're doing it, but you don't have to do that with the Selenium. That is a different tool that you use it. Either use a load runner, or JMeter, or the other tools they have available for that particular service testing.
Just we need just basic concept about what is the API.
Exactly.
But we
As
don't
long as
need
you
in details. Just
exactly
basic concept we need.
as long as you know how the
How does it
services
work in
work, right?
Selenium?
How does the web service work and how it can be handled? This is what you need to tell. You don't need to learn. If you need to learn, then you're not doing a Selenium. You're not going in the market with as an automation as that engineer. You're going as a middle-tier middleware engineer. So that would be something different. The middleware engineer and Sdet engineer is something different topics. So whatever you need to know for the job market, you'll get that. You'll learn that, inshallah, in a bootcamp session.
Okay.
Brother
that
so
is
you says
absolute. Yeah, he's correct. I mean, the web service part, you need to know, like, in order to, you are familiar with the terminology, because you will be working. Your resume says you work last 4 or 5 years, so you need to know, like, basic of what SOAP does, how they communicate from one protocol to another, and how the response sent to and receive all this information, and what would be, there are some basic questions they will be asking. So we'll be covering all that. But the main idea is, once you already know Selenium, so you should be able to you know you know play with this tool with a different framework. Let's say if you want to use Appium, and with the Appium and Selenium WebDriver, you can automate or be able to create a framework with for any web service. These things you will be learning at when you are working on it, because as you work, you're not gonna do a lot of things at work environment. Maybe in the entire day, whatever you did 10 hours, you will be spending maybe maximum of only 2 hours just doing like only specific work. So the rest will be meetings or communicating with the people or finding information, reading documents, or so on and so forth. So the main focus is the Selenium the software development test in engineering. That is the main idea here. Sorry to interrupt you.
Okay.
You had a question?
Yeah, I have a question. So that one is, you says yeah, we have to pay like $4,000 after getting the job. So within how many months we have to pay? We have to pay $4,000. So maybe it might be pay, we have to pay by installment. Yeah, within how many months we have to pay?
So we
Well,
recommend
yes.
everyone,
Let me answer.
yeah, sure.
Can I go
Go ahead,
ahead?
Moshe.
Okay.
Yeah.
As we decided that we're going to take the 4 installment payment in 4 months, so monthly $1,000. If anybody have a financial difficulties, and I don't think that after you getting a job you would have any financial difficulties, which is that would not be the case. But still, if you do, then we can work with you individually, not a problem. But you can let us know, inform us. But our payment setup going to be for $1,000 per month.
Okay, I got it. So
But
during
we're
the
flexible.
bootcamp, yeah, during the bootcamp session, before someone have finished their all of the mock-up and mock-up and mentoring all of the sessions, if
Mhm.
they are ready
Ready?
for going
Yes,
to
yes.
market. So
Yeah, they'll go on the market. Yes, absolutely, you're right. I mean, if somebody can meet up all these and be ready for, yeah, definitely they'll we'll try to put them in the market, as early as possible.
and another
Inshallah.
thing, if anybody but someone if don't get job after finishing their bootcamp, so what could be happened?
Well, they will stay on the market, and we'll take a different strategy why they're not getting a job. We have to look at it, how many interviews that person received, and how many uh, interview was able to face, or either the email communication or the recruiter, the primary the selection part of it, the job interview. And after facing the job interview, why is that person not getting the job? Then we have to analyze that. We have to see like what we're lacking. So after a couple of interviews, we can kind of find out exactly what is missing. It's just totally depend on preparation. If we think that this is what going to allow us to filter the student to send to the market, that when we do the bootcamp session and at the towards the end, we know it after mock interview and everything, because we're going to be conducting pretty much a real-time environment and presenting it to you, so we would know from there that whether you're ready for the market or not. And if you do really get ready for the market from here, and you should be, inshallah, able to face the job interview and get a job.
So what is time schedule for bootcamp?
Pardon?
Yeah, time schedule. We want to know time schedule
Oh, the
bootcamp.
time schedule, yeah, we're going to start on June 23rd, and time's going to be the same time, the class timing. Sometimes we may just reduce the session, or we may just expand the session based on what we're covering for that particular day.
So in bootcamp session, yeah, Cyberbullion, they will provide discussion sessions like right now we have discussion session. Yeah, last
Right,
session
right.
and
Yeah,
discussion
yeah. I mean,
session.
if you guys have a discussion, yeah, we'll discuss that towards the end, or yeah, any other session that we can do. Like, oh, group session, you mean group session? No, there wouldn't be any group session because that's going to go throughout the day, weekdays, and a weekend schedule. So if you have if you have your presentation that you need to do the mentoring, if you're going to do in the evening, that's where we're going to open the session for you. You're going to be doing the mentoring. We're going to participate in it. We're going to leave the session open for you. So it's going to be based on you guys when you want to pick your schedule and when attendee want to attend the schedule. So you can pick it during the daytime. We can open the session for you during the daytime, or if you want to pick in the evening and stuff like that. But yeah, all discussions going to be done throughout the session that we're going to be conducting over the weekends. This is what we're going to do. And if you needed to conduct any other session during the weekdays, we'll do that too. So if needed.
Okay.
So in 1 week or two, I mean, by 23rd, we'll be collecting a resume and send you the, how you will be signing up the agreement. Before that, once you sign up, we will present you the entire, setup, how we will be doing, like the schedule.
In details, correct.
In details, all the details, information will be having there, and we will also have a, list of allocated time for you to select for the mentoring. And that is something you have to do before we start the live session.
Okay.
Yes.
Any other question?
What's the agreement paper? What's gonna be inside for that?
We'll send it out before 23rd, inshallah. So you'll receive it.
The agreement, just a brief, is like agreement between a student and the cyberbullion that you are signing to be joining in the job preparation boot camp, and by doing so you will be agreed to continue the session until the end of 7 weeks, and once you get a job, you should be make the payment and all this kind of information. So that's the whole idea in a nutshell.
So the 7 weeks is gonna be finished on July 21st.
7 weeks, 23rd to yes, I think so. So if we start on 23rd, 1, 2, 3,
21st or 22nd.
yeah, 21st. We might have to add 1 week or week or two, depending on how the whole session is going. So if we need to increase the number of weeks or number of hours, we'll do that accordingly. But unless we do it, we wouldn't be able to know.
But brother Samsu, if students will be able to go early to the market if they are ready, right? As you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. If anyone is ready by the, let's say if we know first 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, we'll be doing, reading the resume, make sure we understand the resume. We're doing a mentoring. If we know anyone is actually ready, that by doing that mock interview before the final mock interview, that person will be, given more information to be able to, go to the market and, maybe, find a job by before it ending the session. So it depends on, person to person. We can't tell until we know we interact with, each individual.
So one thing is very important, because already we learn a lot of things, but many things we knows, but we don't know exactly what kind of question is there. So cyberbullion will provide any kind of question and answer pattern for interview purpose based on resume.
So once you study your resume, the resume, whatever it's written, if you can actually, based on resume, I will ask, if I ask you on your resume, what is selenium, right? You should be able to answer this kind of question people ask, right? What is selenium?
No,
What is
some kind of question is generic, and some kind of question is directly we have to give answer, but some kind of question we have to give answer real time what we are doing. So those kind of answer we cannot find out from the online. So if we have
yes, this is what you're gonna learn from your live project when you do that, and you'll get it. Plus, you have done it for last 10 weeks that you have done all this the coding and learn the Selenium. So you should be able to polish that during your
Main thing is
bootcamp.
because our most of the guys maybe they are ready for market, just they need to ready for resume and mock-up interview. But yeah, live project maybe last 3 weeks. Yeah. So if we get
Yeah.
question pattern before yeah, in between this time, before mock sessions, that will be help for us because we just follow the all of the question and answers. We try to read and try to understand all of things based on our resume. So that will be helpful for understanding. Yeah. So before
Yeah,
going to
this is
mock
a
up.
this is a very good question actually. Yeah. So
Yeah.
when I said, when you read your resume, I actually did not finish. So when you go through your resume, whatever in the resume, we will be asking you to, do a research on your resume. Let's say if there is a keyword saying, okay, I have done, Start framework or a test ng framework or a particular test I did use some sort of, how did you use it, a tool. So you will be researching your resume, and once we give you a resume, we will also provide you a list of, possible questions that will be asked in the interview. So that is
Okay,
given to you
based
at
on our resume.
That's the good way.
based on your resume.
Yeah,
Exactly.
based
Yeah.
on your resume.
Oh,
That is the good thing because if I write down some of things in the resume because I write down my things whatever I know. So if I need any generic answer whatever I don't have understand what in the real time they are doing. So that time based on my resume, if I ask any question, that time we will get help from cyberbullion. Yeah.
Yeah, Isha, definitely you do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
because
some of
we are
the
here
what
to
is
help and
selenium,
make sure.
that is
Yeah.
common answer. That is everybody knows. That is not my concern. My concern is real time, yeah, Jenkins. So day to day activities. Actually, but some of the question answer will become day to day activities based on, and some of the question will becomes like generic answer. What is selenium? What is automation testing? That is different things. So and some of the
So,
question
so,
is
so,
totally.
so
So
yeah.
each.
So,
Hmm,
okay. So, when we give you the resume, the first question every interviewer will ask you, tell me about yourself. So
yes.
you're not going to tell you who you are. You're going to tell what you have done based on your resume. When we give you the resume, you will be summarizing, and we will help you with that. Summarizing the resume, and you will telling the interviewer, okay, this is what I have done, and this tools I use. Interviewer, most likely, 90% of the time, interviewer is not going to look at the resume, you know, a lot. He's going to ask you based on what you just told the interviewer about yourself. So if you say something based on your resume, they are most likely asking you everything from the resume. There is very rare chance is going outside of the resume. If anything asked outside of the resume, just the answer is if you know it, just tell it. If you don't know, you don't tell it. Just to be honest about it and simple. So, by the time you get your resume, everything will be provided and you should be good to go for the mock interview prior to the live session.
Yeah, thank you. So it is very important for everybody because as I mentioned, if when I submit before submitting my
Yeah,
resume, if I contact the cyberbullion that time if they help us, yes, you should need to change this one, you should need to add this one. So that because we don't know exactly actually what need to add it, yeah, which one is
Mhm.
good for interview sessions. So yeah, it will be
well,
helpful
yes,
before going to mock up session. Uh,
Brother,
yes, go ahead.
Brother Shadev, this is why we're doing
Uh,
holding the boot. This is why we're holding the boot camp. The purpose of it is resume. You are fully prepared. That anything you don't understand within your resume, we're going to be reviewing it. If you don't understand anything within your resume, make sure that you understand and you know about it
sure, yeah,
before
yeah,
you
I
go to
got
the
it, yeah.
market. This is
Yeah,
what we're going to be stitching in a boot camp. So basically, the boot camp is like to prepare you for interview. Make sure that you win the interview.
like another
So
question, like some of the person maybe they are not working for 2 months. Like for me, because I don't want to work for 2 months, so I am because right now I don't have any job, so total I want to spend my time for my study purpose. So I wanna main thing actually as soon as possible. I want to ready for market. So based on ready, what I have to do. So before going to mock-up session, if you provide all of the question and answer all of things, so that will be helpful because 1 month maybe not possible, so minimum 2 months we know. So, but if we get all of the question and answer and knowledge, it will be help for us.
Well, that's what we're gonna start as soon as early as would be the 23rd. We're gonna start giving you guys the agreement paper. You sign it maybe before 23rd. We're gonna start collecting your resume. Maybe since we're saying it, we're gonna start collecting resume on 23rd. Why don't you just prepare your resume? All of you, whoever wants to join, prepare your resume. By the time you sign the paper agreement, you can send it to us. We're gonna work on your resume, make sure that you have everything that you learned and everything you need to know in order for you to go to the market. So we're going to work on the resume, and in the meantime, we're going to start the mentoring sessions also. So that will also give you some boost and confidence on your part that when you do the mentoring sessions, then you can gain some more of a confidence from that. So you'll be prepared more, and by the time we work on your resume, we'll hand it back to you. You're going to work. You're going to look at your resume. You're going to come up with, okay, this is what I know. This is what I don't know. Then we're going to work on based on what you don't know, and we're going to give you knowledge. Even though one you know it, we're still going to conduct a mock interview and see what your understanding level is, what you have understand, and what your understanding level, what expected from a recruiter, whether you can convey that message to the recruiter or not. So this is what we're going to do. So it's nothing that it's a solid based on like I can give it to you in upfront based on what we prepare you for. As you go along, and this is what we're going to provide you. So based on a diagnose, you can say look at the medical term. Whenever you go to the doctor diagnoses you for the disease and they prescribe you the medication. So that's how it's going to be given. Hope that
Okay,
clear
thank
out.
you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Sure. Brother Shamsu?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else that we need to cover? If there's any other questions, brothers, from you guys, Brother Shamsu, go ahead, take over.
I mean, I don't know if I missed anything, but I think most likely I covered everything. If not, I mean, if any other question I can answer. If not, we can actually.
Yeah, you guys always can reach out to us, like and during the holiday, like next week, you guys gonna be off. Enjoy your Eid. Inshallah, we'll do the same, and during that time, maybe you can work on your resume and try to get it ready at least. So whenever we reach out to you, we can just send it to us, and the faster. And like we said, that we're gonna try to put everyone in the market. Anybody is ready as soon as possible, because this is way that benefit you will benefit us too. The more quicker you go to the market, less effort we have to put on you, or so that means like we can focus on some other task or some other person who need help. So definitely if you're I'm pretty sure that I believe that your class, you guys are pretty well organized and well prepared for as far as we get the information from your instructor, Brother Alam. Then inshallah you guys should be able to go to the market quicker than
So in the
we're
bootcamp,
thinking.
Brother Alam, he'll take the sessions. Yeah.
All of us, yes, based on who's available.
Brother
If there's
Moshe,
yes.
I have a some question about that, about our resume. So what kind of resume you want? A lot of people, they are asking for the banking or healthcare.
That's
You
fine.
know,
Put
yeah,
everything the actual resume you have. Just give us the actual resume you have.
yeah. I have a one resume before. I'm just using one Google number, and I put it into my resume on each and every on job market. Then I just see what kind of recruiter they are asking for question. For
No,
based on
that's
the.
fine. Whatever resume that you prepared for, you have the current resume, send it to us. We'll modify, we'll work on it, we'll look at it, we'll make suggestions, we'll modify, we'll do that. So not a problem. Just send us the
But
resume that
I
you
don't
have.
have any idea about my resume. I'm just looking for the what kind of question they're asking for that based on the
Well,
resume.
don't worry about that. When we
The
provide
book
you,
session, yeah, book session they will.
yeah,
Yeah. So
whenever
one thing,
whenever we provide you, update your resume, we'll ask you the questions that what do you feel comfortable about it, and if you don't feel comfortable, then we're going to work on it, make sure you are comfortable before you go out in a market or set up a mock interview or anything.
Okay.
So whatever actually we learned from the cyberbullying, really it blessing for us.
It's
Basically,
good. You know,
basically, I want to
it's
thank
good to
you,
know.
Alam bhai. I want to
Yeah.
thank you,
Thanks,
Alam bhai.
brother.
Alam bhai, really, he was I never have seen like
You're
him.
just
Really,
look
he
like
have
a
a
good
lot of
mentor.
questions. We ask so many questions, and he give us a very oil explanation. So really, Alam bhai,
There's
so
such a
yeah.
good patience.
হ্যাঁ, তো আলম ভাইকে মানে কি বলবো, মানে আজকে আসলে এই অল্প সময়ের মধ্যে যতটুকু শিখা সবকিছুর জন্য আলম ভাই সবচেয়ে বেশি অবদান। তা আসলে কখনো
আলহামদুলিল্লাহ,
যদি ড্রপ পাই,
আলহামদুলিল্লাহ,
আলম
that's
ভাইয়ের
good.
ঋণ কখনো মানে শোধ করার মতো না।
না,
উনি
এটা
আমাদেরকে খুব সুন্দরভাবে শিখাইছে, যেটা
আলহামদুলিল্লাহ, একটা জিনিস করতে পারেন, keep him on your prayer all the time, so inshallah, and keep us also along
inshallah,
with him.
inshallah, inshallah,
আর
inshallah.
কি।
Okay, brother. Before we actually leave this session, I
Thanks
want
for the
to
comment.
mention one thing. Again, yeah, thank you for all the comments. So one thing I want to ask you all, like, you know, as a friend or as a brother, as a, you know, whatever you can take it, the most likely, I want you to, whatever you learn, this should not limit yourself. This is just a, you know, if any of you are just new to the, you know, software industry, IT industry, this is just a starting. So, you know, open the door for you. Make sure, you know, just don't just, you know, rely on what we taught you so far, but, you know, try to, you know, do this, you know, searching, you know, make sure you try to learn something, try to, you know, put yourself in a position. Okay, it's saying something on the resume, or I saw something, you know, on the anything on the program, or there is a keyword, you know, I'm not sure about it, just do a Google search. Maybe that word will take you someplace, will allow you to learn something else. And this
Yeah,
is how, you know, you're learning a lot, and this is just opening a door. So make
absolutely.
sure, you know, you do that.
that's the main goal, ultimate goal for us. You know, how to learn and how to search everything. You know, this is just a basic idea for Selenium, Java. It's a whole thing, a lot of things. Within a 1 or 2 months, we can't, you know, capture all of things. We
Correct.
need to know about how to search and how to learn everything. Google or search engine, you know, it's the good way to learn, because of it's the just a basic. Yeah, within 1 or 2 months, I don't know whoever, you know, take care of it like that.
Yeah, but at least you guys are ready for that. This is what is, you can put your foot in the door, and then you get the
Yeah,
opportunity. You can
yeah,
explore in
that's
IT
the
industries.
ultimate goal for us. I think within a 1 or
Correct.
2 months, how to learn and how to search or any
Right.
other things.
And one more thing that I would like to share with you guys, that our next session will the session will start in July 7th, and actually orientation will be on June 3rd. If you guys know anyone, any friends, family, that if you can recommend to us, definitely would be helpful, and also they will get benefit out of it. If you guys think that you get benefit out of it, then inshallah they'll get benefit out of it too. So please do so.
Okay, let's see. And another thing is, then you say, guys, we have a next session on June 23rd, right? Do you have?
23rd is the orientation. Yeah, orientation. And
Yeah.
July 7th will be the first session. Yeah.
Okay. For us, any other study at a homework or something from Brother Alam or?
So you know, whatever the video and materials he gave you, I know, you know, there are a lot of information he provided you for the
Yeah.
Oracle side, from the Selenium HQ. You know, you spend time on that, because, you know, those are the most important parts
I
for your
think the
interview.
last framework, you know, the Brother Alam, whatever we learned from Cucumber, I don't think so. He just shared for this framework for us. Brother Alam, can you please share this one too? Because so we need.
Yes, I'll be able to share that framework as well. Okay, sure,
Okay.
I'll do that.
Yeah, that's good for us, and we need to work on it.
Okay, great.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you, brother.
Brother Murshad, Azad here. Assalamu alaikum. If no one has a question, I can ask.
Yeah, brother Azad, sure.
My case is little different, but you were well explained about the friends what they are study with me here as a newcomer or looking for a job. But thanks for that explanation. My case is a little different. I don't know. As I discovered that I want to learn some advanced level. That some of the question I heard, and I also
Right.
discussed about brother Alam, and he was saying that all those
Yes.
advanced level it will cover in the boot camp. So is there a way?
Right. Right.
I want to be interested, but I'm not ready for looking a job or anything. My case is little
Mhm.
different. So in that case,
Uh,
is that
I think
doable?
Brother Shamsi has mentioned that to me, and we answer. I talked to him. Brother Shamsi will talk to you after the session, inshallah,
No
and
problem.
hopefully there will. Yeah, he mentioned that to me that that you contacted him, so he'll talk to you, inshallah. He'll give you a call.
Yeah, I don't want to miss you guys. I want to along with you.
No, inshallah, inshallah, inshallah. You guys are part of the cyber family now, cyber bullion family. So
Yeah.
you're you can always contact us, reach us, inshallah, and we'll do the same. Then if you need any help, if you guys need
And
any help, vice versa,
okay. Okay, I'll talk to Brother Shamsu after this
Okay, inshallah.
sometime.
This way, I will call you like sometimes this afternoon.
No
Uh,
problem. No, take your time, brother.
yeah.
No problem.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to aware of it that what my intention.
Yeah, sure,
Okay.
inshallah,
Yeah.
he'll talk to you.
Yeah. And
And
we'll talk.
also one of my student here, they were asking it texted me saying that they want to be continue in this your program. What would be the deal? Let's say you said that there would be another session will be starting July 7, and they want to
Right.
continue with that session. Did you guys cover? I was not. If anyone from our group to go in the next session, I'm not sure I can explain the
So,
question.
so are you talking about repeating the course?
Yeah. Someone is asking me.
Yes. So yeah, you can repeat the course up to
One
one
more
more
time.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the next, so our next semester will begin from July 7, right? But
Yes.
you will be so you will join only the Java and Selenium part, not the rest of the part. I mean, from July 7, basically we will start from SDLC, then SPLC, then SQL. But you are not joining those sessions. You will be joining only Java and Selenium sessions.
Very
So
good.
that's what it is.
We'll pass that information.
Okay.
Brother Alam, you said July 23rd, SDLC, STLC, we are gonna start like that from here, or just
So
No, no.
are you planning for? Are you plan? Please go ahead.
MD. So since this is like a Java enhancement course, you started as a the enhancement course. It was in full QA engineering, because full QA engineering was a different package than the Sdet course. Since you are in the Sdet course, it's a different procedure. So whatever you need for this job curriculum, let's say Sdet engineer, it will be taught in the boot camp. But the people who actually enrolled in a Q engineering course, they are actually learning test case, manual test cases, how to write a test case, test design, and all this, and basic of SQL
I understand.
and web service, as you mentioned.
I
But
understand.
those are the basic stuff will be covered in the boot camp. So there is no need to worry. But if you need to
Okay.
repeat the session, you
Yeah,
can
it's okay.
do that. But yeah.
Okay. Thank you, brother.
Brother Shamsu, one more question came to me. One of my student here. I don't know it's appropriate to asking you, but they are forcing me to ask. They were
No,
saying
sure,
that
please go ahead.
they were asking they are in the market as of now. Their resume is in the market, and they want to go with the boot camp as well. In between, if they are getting a job before you guys are providing any jobs or any placements, what their deal would be in that case.
So the day they're signing
Sorry
the
for
agreement with us.
sorry for kind of
No, that's a very good question, and that's a very smart question actually. So the day, let's say 23rd, we are sending you the agreement paper, right? And you sign the agreement paper. From that day on, you are basically signed with us to. So in between that day to any day you find a job by yourself or any media, you are already committed with us, because you need a support on the throughout the day. So
Okay.
if you think you will be able to, anyone that you know will be able to do their son, I encourage them not to sign with us, because if they sign with us, that's the agreement already signed with us. Even they find a job, because once we show you the first step of the bootcamp process, that means you already know, and anyone can go and basically go in the market and do their own. But we don't encourage anyone to do themselves, putting the resume in the market if they never, work in the IT industry. The reason why, there is a risk involved. Once you put your resume will be stored in a thousands database. And anytime they want to search your name or any keyword by the name, if they say a, fictitious or duplicate resume, there is a higher chance you will be losing that, recruiter from the list. They will block you, or they might not contact you in the future. So I encourage, if you do it one way, not the other way. And it's the preference that the person can choose.
I think, Brother Shamsu, what I learned from them, they're already in the market before cyberbullying come to that place. So, and Brother Alam also asking to remove their resume from the site. Probably they are, I hope they're removed. But in that case, they already in the database, as you are mentioning, that if they are in the database, and there will be conflicting, right?
So,
But they,
once they come with us, there will be a whole different resume. They will have a different email address. They will have a different resume. But that is and how that process is done. And we also help them how to remove the resume from all the sites. There are some tricks actually involved. It's just not you just go and delete it. There are some other things that you need to do, but it is not 100% guarantee. But there are some that works actually. If you do that process, and we'll show you how to do that for those people. And it is like actually help you when someone searches your name or look for selenium keyword, and you will be appearing on the first line of the, or first page of the search engine, and not the old one. So
good, good
the
brother.
resume, yeah, the resume, they, for those people, we want to know their actual resume, so that way we'll know what we need to do.
Uh,
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Your all a student would be actually they already in the market. As I knew that all a student in the market.
yeah, brother Samsu, I have a question about regarding the resume. Uh, I already told you, I before I submitted via a Google phone number and submitted my resume, and I'm just using my current address. So if you submit your resume on based on your requirement and everything else, so what's gonna be address issue or something, and you know the state ID, everything else.
It has nothing to do with your
No, it
state
shouldn't. It
ID or
shouldn't be any
anything.
problem.
No.
Okay.
And also, not only that, let me tell you this. Okay, we have a lot of friends, and the cyberbullion team. We have a number of people working with us on the cyberbullion, and from the recruiting, from the hiring manager, and all this. So our first attempt, once you are ready, we'll try to push to the channel we know to market you before
Okay.
we actually do it actually on the actual market. So there is a some way of doing as a, like, because we are planning to do a software company. Eventually we'll be building a software for other companies, and that is our pipeline on the line. And so the QA engineering is the starting point to someone who wants to start in a IT. Once you get in the IT and you get a job, you can perform your job for 6 months and plus day, you are set for life. You don't have to look back. So that $4,000, or if you're thinking about
No,
even
it's not
$10,000 or $20,000, this is nothing. And the main thing is to get, make sure
get a
a
job.
brother gets help from us. Once
Yeah.
you get a help from us, and you should be able to get, then you most likely helping a lot of other people too. So this is
No,
a
of course.
community work, and so make sure you don't put yourself in a place where you are putting your resume out there, and when I do a search, I see two Abdul Azad showing, and the profile is looks same, and then I think, okay, this resume is not correct. This person has something wrong. He might block the email ID, your name, and some other information in their database. So Basically, let's say you are applying in Oracle, your resume is already exists and you have a duplicate. So you are most likely not getting a job in Oracle in the rest of your life. So be careful when you submit your resume, and make that in mind. How you're doing it. Just it's not easy nowadays. Everything is archiving. Big data science is in place right now. Artificial intelligence is in place now. So every time you do say or act anything, before doing that, make sure you take a one step backward, think of it, and ask for some advice from someone who knows, or before you're doing it. So these are like little information I'm giving on top of what I learned so far, and just a learning, because the industry is expanding and it's broadening up. And once you're in the IT industry, there is a higher possibility you will be making maybe 200 quarter million, or maybe at some point you're making $500,000. You don't know. The thing is, you have to put yourself in a place where the learning is always up to date. You are learning, and this is just, we are giving a entry point of something that you should start with, but the rest is on you, how you want to do it. So the door is
Yeah,
open
of
for
course.
all of you.
And I have another question. After we supposed to be brother Shujib or brother Azhar, whoever got job, and the after got job, they're gonna be they want a little bit support on the live environment. So you guys are providing for that, such kind
Yes,
of.
if anybody goes with our the boot camp, yeah, as we
Yeah,
promised, that the support
yeah,
throughout the career, so we will be supporting throughout the career. Yes.
yeah. That's the good. Otherwise, you need to be sustained on his job, right?
So
But
brother, this is how it is. Like, let's say you found a job, right? And you are encountering a problem with something, and you came to us and we say, okay, you're done with it, can't help you. So what's the purpose of helping you going forward? Because the purpose is to be able to set yourself for life. Basically, you can find you should be able to do it. So anytime you need a help with anything that's in the work environment, you're having a difficulty, we may not be able to go to your job place to help you out, but we can provide you all the information that you need. Or maybe if you are working from home, there is a sharing capability, screen sharing,
yeah, of course,
something
of
that
course.
can be our team will be helping you. And not only that, you if in your group, let's say you have like eight or nine people in the group today, right? And if another person is having a problem, it is highly recommend we help each other. The reason why, if you help another person, let's say you're helping, brother Azad or brother Khalil for something that he encountered in the real-time job environment, and that problem may not happen in your case, but in the long run, you might encounter something similar to that. If you don't help brother Khalil with that, how do you learn to overcome if you face the same problem in the future? So these
Yeah,
are the things we have to always keep in mind.
yeah,
Helping one brother is never put us down. It's always put ourselves in forward phase.
yeah. That's good. Thank you, brother.
আসলে মেনলি জাকির ভাই, আসলে মেনলি ওনাদের কাছ থেকে যেটা সাইবার বুলিয়ন যেটা দিচ্ছে, এটা তো ওনারা তো হচ্ছে আমাদের মানে মানে গার্জিয়ান বা শিক্ষক। আমাদের যতটুকু প্রয়োজন, যেটা মানে আমরা নিজেরা প্র্যাকটিস করব, যেখানে যেখানে আটকে যাব, পারতেছি না, আপনাকে দেখালাম, আপনি আমাকে দেখালেন, নিজেরা না পারার পরে তখন গিয়ে আছে না, দেখা গেল ওনাদের সাথে বললে তখন জিনিসটা শিখতে পারবো। আপনি যদি নিজে ঘাটাঘাটি না করলেন না, কিন্তু এই যে দেখা যায় অনেকে ঘাটাঘাটি করে না, এখন আমি শিখলাম, আপনাকে দেখালে আপনি 2 দিন পরে ভুলে যাবেন। এখন যে ঘাটতে ঘাটতে সে বিরক্ত হয়ে একটা সময় সলিউশন বের করে, সে কিন্তু তার ব্রেনের মধ্যে এটা কিন্তু ধরে ফেলে, এটা ভুলে না। সো প্র্যাকটিস মেক্স ম্যান পারফেক্ট।
You said it exactly the right point.
তো
Let me add one thing.
আমি এখনো
Let me
দেখতেছি আমাদের গ্রুপে অনেকে আছে কিভাবে যে এরর আসলে আছে না, বারবার খালি বারবার কল দেয়, কিন্তু এটা সিম্পল জিনিস, ছোট ছোট জিনিস নিয়ে এসে প্র্যাকটিস করুক। কেন ড্রাইভার লিখলে আমার আসে না, ড্রাইভার দিলে কি হয়, কোনটা দিলে কি হয়, কেন এটা হয় না। একটা জিনিসকে 5-6 রকম ভাবে আপনি করলে একটা সময় আপনি পাবেন। গুগলিং করেন, না পাইতে পাইতে একটা সময় এর সাথে জিজ্ঞেস করেন। আপনি হুট করে একজনকে জিজ্ঞেস করলেন, ওই যে আলম ভাই দেখাইছে, খুব ইম্পর্টেন্ট জিনিসগুলি দেখাচ্ছে, এখন আমরা এগুলি গুরুত্ব দিই না। গুরুত্ব না দেওয়ার কারণে 2 দিন পরে ভুলে যাই। আপনি এগুলো নিজে নিজে করেন, করতে করতে দেখবেন একটা সময় আপনি আলম ভাই থেকে ওনারা কিভাবে শিখছে, এইভাবে প্র্যাকটিস করতে করতে শিখছে। প্র্যাকটিস মেক এ ম্যান পারফেক্ট। তো ওনারা আমাদেরকে গাইডলাইন দিবে, যেখানে আটকে যাবে ওনারা যদি আমাদেরকে ওইভাবে সুন্দরভাবে দেখা দেয়, হ্যাঁ এখানে রিয়েল টাইম এভাবে করতেছে, এই জিনিসগুলি দরকার, আমাদের প্র্যাকটিস করতে হবে। এখন আমরাই সময় দিই না, আমাদের মেন সমস্যা হচ্ছে সেটা।
আমি বলবো আমাদের স্টুডেন্টদেরকে, ইটস এ ব্লেসিং ফর ইউ গাইজ, অ্যাজ Shamsu was mentioning that they will be supporting after getting a job to sustain that position. That is a very challenging part. I have seen many years, many folks, they are involving, we are being trained in couple months and is still not able to handle, and manager said, let's get out here.
না ইয়ে
So
ভাই,
that
আলম
is
ভাই,
a
সাপোর্ট
best
বলতে
point. If they are supporting, your sustain level is, I would say, 99.9%.
কিছু থাকতে হবে। ইয়েস, আপনি যে যতই সাপোর্ট দেবে, এখন ওনারা সাপোর্ট দিবে, যেমন আমার এখানে যারা আছে তাদের উদ্দেশ্যে বলি, রিয়েল টাইমে দেখা যাবে আমরা কাজ করতে যাবে, এই মুহূর্তে সাপোর্ট দরকার। তো সাপোর্ট দরকার হলে আমি কি হুট করে কল দিতে পারবো ওনাদেরকে, বা ওনারা বিজি? তো আমাদেরকে অন্তত 60-70 ভাগ শিখে যেতে হবে, যেন আমরা মোটামুটি কিছুটা সার্ভাইভ করতে পারি। যখন দেখবো যেটা পারি না একদম, তখন এটা, যেমন কেউ যদি এরকম ভাবে না আমাকে, আমি শিখছি এখান থেকে পুরাই, তারা আমাকে সাপোর্ট দিবে, আমি না পারলে চলে যাব, না পারলেও আসলে তারা সাপোর্ট দিবে, এটা
Well,
ভুল আমাদের।
I agree. I
হ্যাঁ,
100% agree. Yeah, of course, that has to be mentoring on that. That ready to be that to fight first. Without fight, you just go and move and asking brother Shamsu, brother Moshe, brother Alam, keep bugging them. They sometimes they would say, ignore this guy.
একজন প্রতিষ্ঠান আমাদেরকে জাস্ট বেসিক নলেজ, আমরা যখন অঙ্ক করি 2-4টা অঙ্ক করায়, ওর ওখানে তো অঙ্ক থাকে মানে 25-30টা, সব কি করা তো 2টা 3টা, 3টা দিনে 3টা করালো, আমরা প্র্যাকটিস করে বাদ বাকি গুলি করলাম। তো ওনারা আমাদেরকে দিছে যে সলিউশন, এগুলো আমাদের প্র্যাকটিস করতে হবে প্রচুর। যত বেশি প্র্যাকটিস করা যায় ততই আমাদের ইমপ্রুভমেন্ট আসবে। তো দেখা গেলে একজন একটা
Okay.
যেমন আলম ভাই 2-4টা সলিউশন তৈরি করছে, আমাকে বলার পর আমি জিনিসটা শুনে বাসায় একটু দেখি, ঘাটি। তো দেখা যায় এইভাবে সময়গুলি আমরা সেভ করতে পারি, যে যে জায়গা থেকে সমস্যাগুলি ফিল করে।
Okay. So yeah, I think that was those are the very good point, and I really appreciate you brought that. One thing I want to mention, when we practice, like we told every student that you spend at least 20 hours on yourself practicing. If you did not do that, you must go back and practice. Spend that time. The one thing that before reaching out anyone who knows about it, yeah, that is the main idea. You should try to solve yourself. The reason why I'm saying, in a real time at job, not everybody is available, as brother Abdus and other brothers say, not available to help you immediately. So you need to have yourself get into habit. Okay, I should give a try, do a Google search and all this. Once you solve one solution, let's say you're encountering, and you were able to solve that solution by yourself, you will immediately feel how much stress actually went down from your brain, as well as how much successful you will feel. So I think many of you already experience that. When you solve something and you feel proud of it, you feel like, okay, I did it, because I tried, I spent so much time on that, and finally I was able to get that problem solved. So that piece of achievement or satisfaction, you can't get it anywhere, not even a dollars equivalent. So make sure do that, do your part before asking another person. That is something very important. Thank you, brother.
আসলে সাপোর্ট বলতে শামসুবে আপনারা কি কি বোঝাচ্ছেন? যেমন দেখা গেল আমি একটা সমস্যার মধ্যে পড়লাম রিয়েল টাইমে, আমি একটু ব্রেকডাউন করছি, সমস্যার মধ্যে পড়লাম, তো আপনারা সাপোর্ট বলতে শামসু ভাই আমি তো এটা গুগল করতেছি, পাচ্ছি না, আমাকে এক্স্যাক্টলি এটা একটু দেখেন তো কিভাবে করা যায়। কিন্তু মডিফিকেশনটা তো আমাকেই করতে হবে, তাই না? নাকি আপনারা করে দিবেন?
না মানে এখন এটা ডিফারেন্স, ইটস অল ডিফারেন্স অন লাইক হাউ দি
কিছু
এনভায়রনমেন্ট
কিছু
সেট আপ।
ক্ষেত্রে যদি দেখা যায় মডিফিকেশন ভেরি হার্ড, আমি গুগল করলাম, নিজে নিজে করলাম, অনেক রকম ভাবে করলাম, তো পারলাম না, সেটা হচ্ছে ভিন্ন বিষয়। কিন্তু যেটা সিম্পল বিষয় সেটা যদি আমি ইয়ে করি, তাহলে এটার মানে কি আমাকে মোটামুটি 60 থেকে 70 ভাগ জানতে হবে, আমাকে প্র্যাকটিস করতে হবে, জানতে হবে। আমাকে কিভাবে মডিফিকেশন করতে হবে জানতে হবে, নিজেরা প্র্যাকটিস করতে হবে, এটা খুবই একটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট। তো ছোট ছোট জিনিস আমি হয়তো আপনাকে বললাম শামসু ভাই আমি এটা বুঝতেছি না, গুগল করতে হচ্ছে না, একটু আপনি আমাকে একটা লিঙ্ক দেন, তো লিঙ্ক দিলে আমি মোটামুটি করে ফেলতে পারবো। এটা হচ্ছে এরকম। তো অনেক সময় দেখা যায় আপনার সময় নেই, আমার স্ক্রিপ্ট নিয়ে বসে বসে আপনি 2 ঘন্টা সময় নষ্ট করবেন। এটা তো হয়তো একদিন 2 দিন করবেন, সবসময় তো করবেন না, তাই না?
Right. And also, like, a lot of problems you may encounter, you should be able to solve it in your team. Let's say you working in like Oracle or any Google, right? And you have a team of people working on the automation. You encounter a problem, you just reach out to one of them, and they will work with you together. And you'll be maybe none of you will reach out to us for any problem, or maybe some of you are having a problem every day, or maybe it depends. So we don't know, but we'll be there all the time. If there is need help or any information we have, we'll share with you, because everybody do research on different way. So if you tell us what's the problem after doing your research, and then you tell us what's the problem, then we'll give you a solid information where to get the information. If that doesn't help, the next part will be some of you give you one-on-one some sort of helping. So in the help will be there. Don't worry about that, and it will always be there. And if you encounter a problem, it doesn't mean that the employer is asking to solve it immediately. They give you time. There is a time allocation, so do not worry about that at all.
আচ্ছা, একটা প্রশ্ন ছিল, সেটা হচ্ছে আলম ভাইকে মানে ওনাকে উদ্দেশ্য করে, সেটা হচ্ছে আমরা সেলেনিয়ামে আসলে যতটুকু শিখলাম, আমাদের আসলে জাভার ক্লাসগুলি মোটামুটি কনসেপ্টটা খুব ক্লিয়ার, এবং সেলেনিয়ামে আসলে কনসেপ্টগুলি ক্লিয়ার হয়েছে, কিন্তু আমাদের যেটা সলিউশন, যেটা অ্যাডভান্স লেভেলে, যেটা বারবার শুনে আসছিলাম বুট ক্যাম্পে করাবে। তো সেলেনিয়ামে যে ওয়েব ড্রাইভারের অনেক রকম আছে, আপনি একটা অবজেক্টকে খুঁজে বের করার জন্য বা অবজেক্টকে হ্যান্ডেলিং করার জন্য বিভিন্ন ধরনের ইয়ে আছে। তো এগুলি কি কিছু কিছু যেগুলি মানে আমাদের ইন্টারভিউর জন্য খুব ইম্পর্টেন্ট, লাগবেই, প্রশ্ন করবেই, মানে মানে এগুলি আসবেই, 10টার মধ্যে 5টা আসবেই। তো ওই রকম কিছু জিনিস বুট ক্যাম্পে কি আহ, আমাদের কি শেখানো হবে? মানে আমরা তো নিজেরা করবো, যদি না পারে শেখানো হবে কিনা?
Yes, so we
Before
will
you
have some. Please, Sansu, go ahead.
No, I said before you go to the market, before we send you the market, we want to make sure you are ready for it. So that answers all of your questions. So anything that's related to this subject matter, you should be able to answer. If any interview is happening in the future, you should be able to answer. If not, I mean, it's not like everything that is on the resume I'm talking about, but anything outside of it, or you maybe touch of it, if you can actually say a single word or something about that question, you are good. You don't need to know like 100% 100 accurate answer, and there is no solid 100% answer for any question. There could be an answer in different way. So all the information will be provided. Alam, go ahead.
Oh, no, actually, I was talking. I mean, we will have some project, as well as we will give you some set of questions and answers, so that they will cover all the scenarios that you need to know for the interview. That's what I was telling.
যেমন আপনি যেমন যাবার ক্লাসে এমন আমাদের ক্লাসগুলি এমন ভাবে হয়েছিল, দেখা যায় কি আমরা ক্লাসেই সব শিখে ফেলছিলাম একদম হ্যান্ডস অন। তো আমিও চাচ্ছি সেলিনিয়াম ক্লাসে অন্তত একটা টেস্ট কেস, যেমন কিভাবে, যেমন বেসটা আমি তৈরি করব, সেটআপটা করে যে কোনো একটা, আমি রিপোর্ট ধরলাম না, সিম্পল একটা, আমি ড্রাইভারকে ইনভোক করার জন্য একটা আমি নিজে নিজে দেখলাম, তারপর ওটার সাথে আমি কি করলাম, এফএস বেসে কিভাবে কানেক্ট করলাম, তারপর ওটার সাথে আমি কিভাবে পেজ অবজেক্ট মডেলে কিভাবে স্ক্রিপ্ট গুলি লিখে আমি হোমের সাইন ইন বা টেস্ট মানে নিজে নিজে করার মতো, একটা স্ক্রিপ্ট করার মতো ওই রকম একটা, মানে আমরা মানে একটা ক্লাস দরকার হলে একটু সময় বেশি যাবে, দেখা গেল খলিল ভাই করলো, আমরা বসে বসে উনি দেখলাম, উনি করবে, আমরা বসে বসে দেখলাম, উনি যেখানে আটকে যাবে সেখানে আছে না। হ্যাঁ,
ওইটা তো মেন্টরিং সেশনে আসবে আগে, যখন আপনারা মেন্টরিং করাবেন, দিস ইজ হোয়াট
না এই শুধু আমি সেলিনিয়ামের এইটা আর কি, এটা ফ্রেমওয়ার্কের এই জিনিসটা, এই ডিজাইনটা কিন্তু খুব একটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট। এটা ভালোভাবে মাথা ঢোকানোর জন্য আমাদের একটা সেশন অন্তত একটা স্ক্রিপ্ট নিয়ে আমরা নিজে করব, আলম ভাই করবে না, আমাদেরকে দিবেন, আমরা করব, যেখানে আটকে যাবে আলম ভাই একজন করবে, সবাই দেখবে। তো যে করবে
সেটাই তো আসবে মেন্টরিং এ। দিস ইজ দ্য পার্ট অফ দ্য মেন্টরিং, দ্য ওয়ান পারসন ক্যান স্টে देयर এন্ড ওয়াচ if you needed to need help, so this is going to kick in with the mentoring.
So এই জিনিসটা
that is the requirement. Without doing that, you won't be able to go to the job market. So
Yep.
in the boot camp, we have some mentoring, and you have to explain it to everyone.
Yep.
Without that part, you are not allowed to go to the next step, right? That is the
Yeah.
concept.
The market, you cannot go to the market without having that done. So you have to be well prepared. So basically.
থ্যাংক ইউ আলম ভাই, থ্যাংক ইউ মোর্শেদ ভাই, শামসু ভাই, আপনাদের অনেক ধন্যবাদ। বিশেষ করে আলম ভাইকে মানে স্পেশালি ওনাকে বলবো, মানে রমজান মাসের রোজা রেখেও উনি আমাদেরকে যথেষ্ট কন্ট্রিবিউশন করলেন এবং ওনার কাছ থেকে অনেক কিছু শিখলাম, অনেক কিছু। তো আসলে মানে এটা বারবার বলে শেষ করতে পারবো না। আলম ভাইকে অনেক ধন্যবাদ, সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ।
অবশ্যই।
হ্যাঁ, অবশ্যই।
Thank you very much.
You guys have a wonderful holiday. I mean, Eid day, inshallah.
And also, I mean, quickly, I just want to tell that if you know anyone who might be interested, please let them know. Our next orientation is June 23rd, so please let them know. If so, as we know, our first 2 weeks of class is free, and we have our orientation that is also free, so they can join. Please let them know if you know anyone who might be interested. And if you have any other question, you can here is our email address and phone number. You can take a screenshot of it. And if you have any more question, you can call us, email us, or you can post the question on our group chat window.
আমাদের বুট ক্যাম্প শুরু হচ্ছে কবে থেকে?
23 তারিখ।
It's on
23rd.
আর ওই যে জুন
so
মাসের
next
23
week we have off.
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, জুন মাসের 23 তারিখে যেটা শুরু হবে ওটা ক্লাস কে নিচ্ছেন? এটা কি আলম ভাই আপনি নিচ্ছেন নাকি?
Yeah, we all will be there. So as you can see, we will have our
সেলেনিয়াম ক্লাসটা কি আপনি নেবেন নাকি জুন মাসের? আচ্ছা, ওটা তো ম্যানুয়াল।
Selenium brother Alam করাবে, yes.
আচ্ছা,
yes. Okay. So if there is no other question, we can wrap the session here. And thank you everyone for joining.
থ্যাংক ইউ।
Okay, thank you everyone. Assalamu alaikum.
ওকে, আসসালামু আলাইকুম, সবাইকে ঈদের দাওয়াত রইলো।
ঈদের শুভেচ্ছা।
Inshallah. Eid Mubarak to you everyone.
Eid Mubarak.
Eid Mubarak.